Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust or Cloud Carpeting. That's right. We are here in episode 328 in this mountaintop hidey hole where the cloud layer is intersecting our hidey hole. It's very strange and unusual, and I wish to leave this silly place. I'm concerned about things that may be waiting for us up here. Well, look at this cloud. It's a huge cloud. I kind of want to see... Oh, it's going to take forever. I was going to say, I want to see what happens, or how it looks, when the edge of the cloud passes through the hidey hole. So, I guess we're going to stick around here for a little bit, but we're going to eventually continue on towards the Far Lands, west, once we find a way safely down from this mountain. Like I said, episode 328, it's Monday, February 17th, 2014. Woof. Woof indeed. Alright, here it comes. Hold on to your hats. There's no creepers that are gonna just waltz into the hidey hole, are there? Alright. Come on, this is gonna be awesome. We've never experienced such a thing. Ooh. It looks like a little half slab. That's awesome. We are easily amused. Anyway, let's secure that very strange hidey hole. Let's find a way down, like I mentioned. I think we can go back around and down this way towards those cows. But yeah, this was a pretty interesting way to end the last episode, start this episode. We're going the wrong way right now, but we will correct that. Woof! We are certainly going the right way, in our Child's Play charity fundraiser. We're up to $169,981.37. Come on! We just got less than 20 bucks until we are at 170,000. So somebody get over there and give that. Leave a comment, leave a question. I will answer your question if it is appropriate, and you will get a little bit of a shout out in the next episode of Far Lands or Bust. So donate, farlandsorbust.com, little Child's Play charity donation button. Click on donate, and then you donate. And donate. Indeed. And yeah, maybe, hopefully it'll be good for the Far Lands or Bust live stream. Get up beyond the $200,000 mark. That's just $30,000 to go then until we reach that. That would be pretty amazing to watch that tick over live on the air or something like that. That'd be awesome. Like I said, so far, gosh, I forget that February is such a short month. That's like less than 2 weeks. I'm frightened and scared. Somebody please help me. Ooh. Somebody else is making a hidey hole over here or something. But yeah, continuing on here. Like I said, it is February 17th. I live in the Chicagoland area, and we are having one heck of a winter. And I, today, am getting an education on what an ice dam is. An ice dam. Let me say it again. Ice dam. There's ice, and then you say dam, because it causes a dam to block all the water from going down your gutters, or spouts, I believe is what you call them across the pond. And then it gets in through your shingles and into your roof, and then starts leaking through your ceiling, forcing you to put buckets out on the floor. Oh yes, this is what I am dealing with at the moment. I was about to say ATM, as in like the abbreviation, but then I realized I'm not a 14-year-old with an iPhone. But, oh man, I heard, and maybe, I don't know, hopefully you can't hear it in the background of the audio here. It's gotten a little bit louder since I've added the buckets, but I heard this very consistent and rhythmic tapping coming from somewhere around my house. I'm like, what is this business? What is going on? And sure enough, in my entryway, which is good. It's good it's not like in my bedroom or in the office here, where I have all this very expensive and hard to replace electronic equipment, computer equipment and stuff, or carpets and stuff like that. It's in my entryway, but it's still coming through the roof and making moisture on the ceiling. So I hope it's not bad enough to require replacing drywall or anything like that. But I suppose, for those who don't know, I suppose there are people who might not even live in snowy, icy conditions, and you have no idea what I'm talking about. But basically, we have had snow, freeze, snow, freeze, snow, freeze, freeze, thaw, freeze, snow, freeze, all the, like, constantly. And like, our city is running out of salt. All the cities are running out of salt to put on the roads, and things like that. And today, we're looking at suddenly another 5 to 8 inches of snow. Why not? And then by the weekend, it's supposed to warm up to like 40 degrees, and that's all going to melt and cause flooding and stuff. But the ice dam is a situation when we had some melting of snow in the last week that had been built up on our roofs. And as that melts, it goes supposedly, well, it's supposed to, anyways, the word I was looking for, go down your gutters and down the spout and away from the house. But it refreezes and then freezes up the gutters and then starts pouring over the sides, and you get those very dramatic death icicles of doom and destruction and impalement hanging over your windows and over the sides of your house. That builds up enough where it creates a dam. And when more of that snow starts melting, it instead of going off the side of the roof, gets stuck there, and by some genius oversight in the design of roofs in modern housing, the water then goes backwards behind the shingles that are supposed to protect water from coming into your home, and goes around and down and gets through the roof, and then starts to drip and collect, I'm assuming, on the underside of the drywall, and then drip through. And, careful, Wolfie. And this is in a part in the entrance of where I live is like 30 feet off the ground. Well, maybe not 30, maybe 20 feet off the ground or something, so I can't do anything about it. And of course, it's just started just as this 8-inch snowstorm is starting to blow through, so I can't, I don't have a ladder tall enough to begin with, but I can't set up a ladder to try to fix things, nor do I think I would be able to fix things. So I have a call in to the old association. Again, they're probably not going to do anything. There's not much they can do in this weather. The maintenance crew's job description of clearing snow does not involve clearing snow off the roof. So, I hope it doesn't make my ceiling collapse, is kind of how I'm looking at it. We Mindcrackers are having a lot of water problems lately. Paz keeps having issues with his basement, which is where his office, where he was recording, is located. He's having flooding there. I think he just tweeted again, more frustrations about more water in his house. So we feel for Paz. And that's, somebody asked, we started doing the, me and Paz and Cheeb and LD Shadow Lady started doing the Tiny Brains Let's Play. We got 3 episodes in, and then that was about, and then nothing happened after that. People were wondering where that was at, and I think everybody involved would like to continue that series, but I think the first thing was the situation, her schedule changed for Cheeb, and she was no longer available, and as you know, it's very difficult to schedule 4 people, let alone people on the West Coast, people in the Midwest here, and then LD Shadow Lady is across the pond in the place where they say spouts as opposed to gutters. And so it's hard to coordinate that when Cheeb's schedule changed. And then Paz flooded. As you know, there weren't many videos from Paz to begin with. And now he broke his thumb. And now he's flooding again. And just issues. And fun game. And I hope eventually we might get around back to playing that. But again, probably not our highest priorities for all of the channels involved. We all have our own kind of situations and series that we fall back on, and that one was just kind of a fun thing. It was actually Cheeb who was able to get in contact with the developer and got us all keys to start playing that. So, of course, thanks to her for getting that out and like I said, hopefully we can get back to that, but don't be holding your breath anytime soon, because things keep happening. Things keep happening, getting in the way of our tiny brains. But yeah. So I got to deal with that. Buckets of water. It's not like torrential coming down, but any water seeping into the house is no good. No good, I say. But yeah. Let's continue walking in the morning. I've got a bunch more questions from donors and things like that. In the morning. I don't know if that sentence made sense, but going to sleep. And a continuing onness. Right? Right. All right. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, let's continue on. I had a little bit of space news, which you might have seen in your news feeds or something like that. That there is an asteroid that is making a flyby, a close pass, if you will. Asteroid 2000 EM26. I think you can take that name to assume that it was discovered in the year 2000. And then EM26 is just whatever nomenclature they gave to identify this asteroid. A quote-unquote potentially hazardous. It's on the potentially hazardous list because it intersects with our orbit. But it's making its closest pass today 8.8 lunar distances. So almost 9 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon. That much further out there. So not necessarily a close pass, not within the orbit of the Moon, not within the orbit of communication satellites or anything like that. But close for a 700... I'm sorry, that would be pretty close, but for an 270 meter sized asteroid. That's pretty big. It's also coincidentally about 1 year since we had the Chelyabinsk meteor in Russia. Last year, February 15th, is when that meteor came in over Russia, and all those dash cams and footage, and of course it injured 1,000 people with all the glass shattering and some building collapses caused by the hydrogen bomb, not hydrogen bomb, but however many megatons of an explosion that happened high up in the atmosphere due to it. So kind of an interesting coincidence. But that one, the Chelyabinsk meteor, was estimated to be about 20 meters in size. This asteroid 2000 EM26, 270 meters. So there's some stuff out there, but and we're keeping track of what we can, I suppose. But even at 8.8 lunar distances, this is still on the potentially hazardous list, although there is absolutely no chance, during this pass anyway, that there's any issues to be taking place. And this is going to be happening this evening, I believe, is when the pass is going to take place. The SLU online telescope website is going to be tracking it. You'll be able to see a little pinpoint of light moving across the sky is probably how it's going to appear. If it's tumbling, you might see some variation. I'm not sure what they're going to be broadcasting over at SLOOH, SLOOH, I believe is how you say that. But kind of just a little interesting astronomy news tidbit that I saw. But let's get to some questions, why don't we? I'm looking for... here we go. Staying on the astronomy scheme, if you will. From Shane, who donated, asked, do you do any star parties? Do I do? Do? Do I do? I do. I have, not recently though. And when I was a lot more active with my astronomy club, we would, it's hard to determine what you call a star party. I mean, pretty much on a weekly basis, we would have... Oh, okay, I guess I killed that pig myself. We would have either place... We have, a place at the observatories where we would have open public nights or just members nights. We would also, I mentioned we'd have, as an astronomy club, have agreements with certain landowners, farmers, about an hour outside of the city. that we have little plots that we can go for our dark site viewing. We would only go there during the new moon and do dark site viewing. You can actually get far enough away from the city where you can still see the city lights. Still a problem of light pollution, but you could, with the naked eye, make out Andromeda and, of course, the Milky Way galaxy and the Orion Nebula's naked eye. So those, I suppose you could call star parties, but certainly not formal or anything like that. I did go to for the transit of Venus. I was in Arizona at the time, and I went to the pink sheep. Woof, yeah, pink sheep. Oh, wow, your wool was a lot more vibrant once it came off you. Good stuff. The pink sheep of snowdamness. Snowdamnedness. Sorry. I went to the, what was it called? I should have written these down as notes. The observatory outside of Tucson is called... I have a souvenir magnet on my refrigerator. What is it called, Kurt? Think about it. Think about the name. Sound it out. Kit Peak Observatory had a star party, quote unquote, but it was technically during the day for the transit of Venus, where they had people give talks, but also a bunch of telescopes, obviously, with solar filters and things. Murder! That we could view the transit of Venus across the sun from atop Kit Peak, which was a very amazing experience. I suppose you could call that a star party. The more formal star parties, a lot of people I've heard from my astronomy club go to. There is there's a Texas star party. There is, this one guy can't stop talking about, the Kansas? No, Nebraska star party. These are places way out in the boonies that last weekends or almost entire weeks, where you basically just camp out with your telescope and there's hundreds of people sign up and you gotta pay. It's almost like a convention, but it's a star party. So you sleep during the day, you stargaze all night in these very excellent skies, darker than you could ever get east of the Mississippi, and those are star periods. I've never been to any of those. I don't know if I'm hardcore enough into the astronomy to be doing that, but yeah, I have done star parties. Do you do any star parties? No, I myself do not do them. I do not put them on, but I have done, I suppose, what you could call a star party. Thank you very much for that question and donation, Shane. I do have a question from the comments. No, not A. The name starts with an A. Amanda. Amanda asked, with the influx of popularity and whatever overwhelming feelings you had with the media recently, I was wondering if you'd make more... Wait, I was wondering if you'd make more as a response... Oh, if you'd make more as a response or stop for a bit and get recollected. Actually, this is a little bit of a glimpse, if you will, into the behind the scenes of KurtJMac here in Far Lands or Bust. Yes, a couple weeks ago, obviously that New Yorker piece came out. That was very easy. I like the way that went. Simon Parkin's the name of the author, basically contacted me and said, hey, I write for this. I, of course, looked into his background and said, yes, you are a writer and not just some random person looking to get into contact with me. He just basically emailed me a bunch of questions and said, just, write out your responses and send them back to me, and then that's what I'll go with. And that was... It took me a while. Like I said when it first came out, I was much more verbose and included way too many details, more than I needed, or what I gave him. He probably could have written a whole series of articles, but way more verbose, and I thought about that way too long. It took me a while to actually reply to those, but that was low pressure, and it was very nice. And then all the rest of the quote unquote media that came from that was basically just linking back to the original New Yorker article. And I had, nothing to do with no input or pressure on me to do the rest of those things. That one TV show emailed me for my permission to use a clip from Far Lands or Bust on their show, and I just said, yeah, sure, but if you are going to upload it to YouTube, don't claim content ID on it, because I don't want Far Lands or Bust to be getting claims against my own footage. So that was like my only terms with that, but otherwise it was pretty low involvement on my part. To answer your question, yes, I have actually pulled back a little bit, and I don't know that they actually watched my videos, but there have been a few emails and requests from other newspapers and authors and things looking to do interviews with me, etc. And I simply have not replied to those. Probably not the best choice as far as PR. Oh, I thought this was a hole. It's just a little... Don't worry, it's fine, Wolfie. Just continue on. As far as PR is concerned, that's probably not the most... not the best thing for spreading word about Far Lands or Bust or my channel or anything. But it does get a little bit overwhelming. I mentioned this already. I won't talk about it again. But just with all the new followers, there's a little bit of self-inflicted pressure to keep things up and to kind of match the expectations of people finding Far Lands or Bust via the articles. But I have kind of hunkered back into my hidey hole, if you will, a little bit. Let's go to sleep, and we'll continue in the morning. And awakeness. Boop. Indeed. So yeah, I don't know. I apologize if anybody feels I'm neglecting them or not answering their emails. It's because that is what I'm doing, but it's not personal. It's just my own. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I don't know how to put this. Maybe I shouldn't put it. I think I've put it already. I don't want to you see some YouTubers or internet personalities suddenly explode and get all of this attention and answering media questions, and then they end up becoming almost like memes or something like that. And while the growth, I suppose, is fine, I've always been much more comfortable with the slow, the steady, we're just doing our thing here. We're just walking to the far lands. No need to start setting off fireworks or rallying troops or anything like that. We're just having fun, playing video games, raising money for Child's Play charity. That's no alarms, no surprises, as the Radiohead would say. So that's just kind of the way I approach it. But yeah, I saw that question from Amanda in the comments to a previous episode, and I'm like, you know what, maybe this is actually tapping into exactly kind of how I'm feeling. So perhaps you guys know me more than I give you credit for. But yeah, thanks for that question, Amanda. And let's answer a question from a donor. From Arno9. Ooh. This is kind of nice little outlook. Wolfie, where are you at? There he is. Oh, hey, no, yep. Come over here. All right, I was going to consider going down that side with water, but given how Wolfie is kind of spawning randomly in different areas, I decided to go back and do something else. But yeah, Arno9 asked, having been to the most recent auto show in Detroit... In Detroit? I was at the auto show in Detroit? No. Oh, you were at the recent auto show in Detroit. Okay. Having been to the most recent auto show in Detroit... Was there anything on hydrogen fuel cell cars? Oh, no, I was not. Okay, no, now I'm back to my original assumption here. No, I was not at the Detroit auto show. I was at the Chicago auto show. Wolfie, stop pushing. Oh, you noodle. No, don't go off the edge of that. That's the worst way you can go, Wolfie. All right, let's take it easy. Careful. Oh, this is terrible. Terrible, terrible. Alright, Wolfie, how about you just, like, spawn on that block? Alright, Wolfie, Wolfie! Wolfie, don't fall! Go! Oh, that was a big one. Is that water gonna... What happened to that water? Did it not... Interesting. Gosh, I can't get the water to fall all the way down here in the video game, but in my house, it's just pouring out of the seams in the ceiling. Sorry, okay, let me... Alright, so, Arno9 asked about the auto show. I was at the auto show in Chicago. Was there anything on hydrogen fuel cell cars? If you could, would you buy one? I didn't particularly look. I'm sure there was, and I know, like, BMW... That's kind of funny. BMW has announced their full electric cars and stuff, and I'm sure there were hydrogen fuel cell cars there. I'm not sure. As always, I'm sure they're concept cars. And yeah, there was a lot of hybrid stuff, and the Prius was there, and I'm very underwhelmed by the Prius. Looking at the gas mileage, it's like, oh, this gets between 36 and 40 miles per gallon as a hybrid, and I'm like, what? The Impreza, the Subaru with the CVT transmission gets like 38 miles to the gallon, and it's an actual gasoline 4-cylinder engine. There's no hybrid anything going in there. Why is this battery hybrid Prius only getting like 40, 42? I don't know what the exact numbers are, but it was not impressive at all. So I don't feel like that is the way of the future. I know they're stylish, especially on the West Coast, I believe, is what the going stereotype is. But there's also the complaint that simply building a Prius causes more harm than buying like a used gasoline-powered engine that gets 30 miles per gallon. Because they gotta mine the resources for the batteries from Canada. They ship them to China or wherever to make the batteries, and those batteries are sent to Germany or wherever to make the engines and blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure the exact process there, but there's that. But, so yeah, I haven't, I feel like there's a lot that can be done with our current technology, and certainly the hydrogen fuel cell. I feel like that is definitely... Oh, I should fill up this bucket with water. Oh, now I've done it. Remember when that was a problem, anybody? Now what? Having problems there, Wolfie. Get out of the vortex. Remember when that was a problem? They fixed that recently, didn't they? Yeah, so the huge hydrogen fuel cell, but it's, again, that's a technology that has to catch up with the market. It's so new, and it still needs some optimization, that it's expensive, and also there's no or rarely any places to fuel up your hydrogen fuel cell car. And I know the hydrogen has a bad association with it. Oh, I'll fill up your car with hydrogen. You think of the Hindenburg and the hydrogen bomb, and you think of rockets and things are fueled with hydrogen, and you see all the footage of those exploding on the launch pad and stuff like that. Why would you put liquid hydrogen in your car? Well, you're putting gasoline in your car. That's pretty dang flammable as well. So I don't see the associations between that and there shouldn't be any fear as regard to that. But again, it's a public perception problem. So yeah, I do. As that technology progresses, I feel like that's the only thing on the horizon that seems feasible. I'm not sure when, 10 years, 20 years, 40 years is when we're going to start to see mainstream cars coming out, the majority of new cars being sold as hydrogen fuel cell. I certainly hope sooner than that we have a solution, but we'll see. And I mean, like I said, with the current technology, I know a lot of people, especially car buffs, are really poo-pooing the new cars that are coming out with the CVT, the constantly variable transmission. But it gives great gas mileage, and I am a quote-unquote car person, and I enjoy the action of shifting from gear to gear as much as the next person, but if it causes me to gain 5 or 10 miles per gallon, then sure, take it. Put it on my car. This is my day-to-day car. I'm not racing this around the track or anything, so. Woo! Talking about topics of which I really have done no research on. That there is the theme of Far Lands or Bust. If that's the type of content you're looking for, you've come to the right place. From an anonymous donor, do you like cookies? I do, although with my recent gluten-freeness, that is a current issue of mine. I cannot just take any old cookie off the street. It's got to be a gluten-free cookie. Oh, that was at the last PAX, somebody gave me a gluten-free cookie from the Cookie Brigade. Child's Play charity donation thingy that goes on at PAX. Yeah, so I like cookies. I like cookies. Ooh, that's a spawner for sure. But it's not uncovered, so we're not going to see it. I like cookies. I am a fan of the chocolate chip variety. I used to be a fan of the oatmeal chocolate chip variety, but oatmeal is also a questionable gluten source. So, unfortunately, there is a good Oreo alternative that is gluten-free. I think they're called... who are they from? They're in, like, the gluten-free section. They're called, like, Katoos? K''Toos or something like that. There's the white version, but then the chocolate version. The chocolate version is, like, no different than the actual Oreos. So I enjoy those thoroughly. So those are good. Although I try not to buy chocolates or sweets or baked cookies or have pies anywhere near myself, gluten-free pies, because if it's there, I will eat it. And that is how I get fat. Honestly, have some self-restraint, Kurt. Stick to a balanced diet. Right, Wolfie? You have a balanced diet of raw pork chops. Right? Oh, sorry. Whoa, hey. All right, I want you to sit actually down. There we go. Good job. All right. Now we are going to dig into today's last hidey hole. Oh, don't. Sorry. That was, phone going off. Let me get rid of this. Whee! That was my cell phone. That's my cell phone ringer. Where? Oh god, I hear footsteps. Nope. Nobody's coming in here. Let's do that. Let's make a couple beds. I still need to make the rest of this hidey hole. Oh, that might have been the... Dang it. That might have been the association. Dang it. Alright, well, I'll answer that in a second. Ooh, oh, okay. So, this hidey hole has improper... Oh, wow, this is a gigantic hidey hole. What am I doing? I'm living in the lap of luxury tonight. Wow. Alright, so I think we're gonna have to light this up on both sides, but... what was I gonna say? Totally forgot what I was gonna say. I answered some questions. Continue raising money for Child's Play charity. Hey, if you haven't already, I'm sure somebody else has already donated that $20 and had us reach $170,000 for Child's Play charity, but you can still give at farlandsorbust.com, and that total continues to go towards our year-end goal, season-end goal. There we go. Plush. For Child's Play charity before Flobathon in a couple weeks. But this episode is over. Episode 328. I appreciate you guys watching and following along. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.